My name is Jeff Raffauf, and I'm one of the pastors at West Lawn United Methodist Church. And I want to, on behalf of Pastor Chris and I, thank you for tuning in today, for allowing us this time, ever so brief, in your day and in your life. We hope that these connection videos have been just that for you, helping you to feel connected with our congregation, with others, and with God. And we've also been playing a little game lately called Stump the Pastor, as you have submitted pictures of items in your home or everyday items, and you've challenged us to see how we might employ that picture in such a way that it could be used for a devotional message. So today's picture comes from Bob and Stephanie Mays, and they submitted a picture that I just loved. It's a picture of some old running shoes, and as I inquired about them, I found out that these are actually the high school track shoes worn by Betty Reiner when she was in high school at Wyomissing High School in the 1930s. Now, if you don't know, Betty Reiner was married to Reverend Rollin T. Reiner, and Reverend Reiner was the pastor of our church for 40 years. We give thanks to God. I give thanks to God for Reverend Reiner and for Betty, for the team that they made, and for the ministry that they offered at West Lawn Church. I give thanks to God for the legacy that they've left behind and for the difference they've made in people's lives, for touching lives like mine, and I am sure so many others. I'm also reminded as I looked at those shoes of a verse, you probably guessed it already, but it comes from the book of Hebrews, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin that clings so closely, and let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us. You see, the author to the Hebrews reminds us so eloquently that we are not in this alone, but we are, as we see so often around our neighborhoods and on television, we are all in this together. Not just the pandemic, but the walk of faith and the Christian life. We are in this thing together. I would not be where I am and who I am if it were not for the roles that people like Rollin and Betty Reiner played in my life, for the role my parents played, and for the role Sunday school teachers and youth group leaders played in my life. You see, you may want to think that you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, but we are a creation of the village in which we have been raised. And I give thanks to God for people who have run that race and have set the pace for us. You know, I ran a few 5Ks in my life, not well and never fast, but each time I was so encouraged to finish, encouraged and strengthened to complete the course when someone else would run alongside me, when they would journey with me, when they would help me each step of the way. We're not meant to live this Christian life alone, but rather connected. And so we offer these connection videos and other opportunities to connect with others and with God during this pandemic. We've moved out of the red and we're in the yellow now, and we give thanks to God for that, and we're all anxious for the green and for times when we can get together in ways like we used to. But I don't know when that's going to happen. But I do know this. I know that we are in this together. We are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, like Betty Reiner. So we are encouraged to lay aside every weight and the sin that clings so closely. Set aside the bitterness, the anxiety. Set aside the things that we allow to divide us. Set aside the hatred, the racism, the bigotry that divides us and keeps us from being all that God wants us to be and from being who God wants us to be. Lay it all aside. Let Jesus wash it away, and let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us. Just as Betty ran for the Wyomissing High School women's track team in the 1930s, dear friends, run with me. Run with me today. Run with me as we strive to live lives worthy of the high calling in Jesus Christ. Run. Let us run together. Dear friends, thanks for tuning in today, and may God be with you till we meet again.